Welcome to another video on my Mark II Focus ST. Today we're going to be fitting one of the easiest and simplest mods to do, and that is a short shifter. I've had one of these on previous cars like my Fiesta ST180 and it makes a huge difference and for not a lot of money, so they are great value. Super simple to install, quite quick. I'll take you through the steps and then we'll see the results. One thing I want to do quickly before we install the short shifter is measure the throw before the short shifter goes in, and then when it's fitted we can do a comparison. I decided to measure third and fourth gear as they are in opposite positions, starting with third, and the stock measurement is 95 centimeters from the dash to the center of the gear knob. Then into fourth, and again measuring from the dash to the center of the gear knob. Came in at 222 centimeters. With the measurements taken, we can start the install by removing the gear knob first. Then popping off the gear gaiter and trim, making sure to be careful of the centre console. With those out the way, you can then get access to the shifter and can remove the shifter cable from the gear lever. I used a small pry bar which made it a lot easier. So with the linkage cable out of the way and just put to the side, we then need to work down into there and just pop the linkage out of the little groove there, and then we can start fitting the new one. Like I said, then you just need to pull the cable up and out of the slot. So it's now time to fit the short shifter. It comes in two parts. So you have this section which fits into where the linkage slots into the factory place, and then this little guy fits onto the actual gear shifter itself. We'll get fitting this one first because it's obviously deep down in there where we've just disconnected the linkage. It does say in the instructions to always lock tight the bolts just in case, because they can vibrate loose, so I'll stick a bit on there then and then we'll get it fitted. With some Loctite on the bolts, it's just a case of slotting it over the factory position, making sure it sits flush. Then the bolts can be tightened up. I did them bit by bit in sequence just to make sure it's tightened evenly and sits flush. Okay, so we have the little bracket in the back there. It is quite a tight fit, so it's hard to film, but I think we managed to get it. I'm actually loosened them quite a lot just to make sure I could get the back lip over, and then I just forced it into the factory position. It is quite tight, but you'll hear it sort of lock in, and then just tighten the bolts up. Then it's time to get this one onto the shifter. So it just slots over, and then it does sit on top of the actual factory ball mount. You can have it even higher, which reduces the throw, but as you can see, you've got two settings there, which I think should be enough. So I am just gonna sit it down flush. Again, Loctite these bolts because they can vibrate loose. I'll get this guy in there and then we can attach the cable back to this. An easy enough job then, just make sure it's sat correctly wherever you choose to put it. Again, tighten the bolts as evenly as you can so the clamping force is spread out evenly. With those tight, I went ahead and put some Loctite on the new ball mount and screwed it into the shortest setting. After driving the car for a few days, I did actually decide to go with the other setting as it felt a lot nicer. I did do a comparison of the two settings compared to the stock measurements, which I'll show at the end. I could then finally refit the shifter cable into the new holder. And attach the cable onto the new ball mount. I gave it a quick test just to make sure it's all okay. So there we have it then, the shifter cables are back in. As you can see, just slots in just the same as factory. Push it in and you'll feel it click a little bit, and then the cable then just pushes onto the ball joint here, and that is all fitted. I'll get the trim back on and the gear knob on, and then we'll do our quick measuring test to see what difference it makes. So time to see what the difference is then. With it in third gear, the new measurement is 135 centimeters. And then into fourth, which measured 228 centimeters. Here are all the measurements then of each setting, including stock. As you can see by the distance between each shift, there's not much difference between the two settings, but the 35% one did feel much better in my opinion.
So that is the short shifter installed. I'm super happy with it. Again, it's a very simple mod to do, very simple install, and doesn't cost a lot of money. I actually got that one from eBay for £30. I'll put the link in the description below. Feels great, just stationary at the minute. Obviously I'll go for a drive and you'll really get the feel for it then. So again, super happy with it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next one.